Yo, bro, was it?
I'm okay, bro.
No, good, man.
Man, aren't you sleeping?
Uh,
Aren't you sleeping?
hey, bro, I slept early last night, so I have this thing when I sleep early, I wake up early. So I woke up around what time? I think 1 a.m.
What's the time back there in South Africa?
9 minutes left before 5 a.m.
I see.
Yeah.
Bro, once more, thank you for the amazing job you're doing.
No worries, fam. No worries. You gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I want us to, I don't know if that guy is gonna join, but anyways, I want us just to tap into this gold, some analysis I made. Yeah, Amir is joining now.
Mm.
Uh, okay, yeah. I think Amir is on. Yo, Amir, can you talk?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
No, I'm referring to Amir. Can you talk? Can you talk, Amir?
He said he doesn't have a mic, I think so.
No, the PC, your PC got a mic on its own. It can talk.
Anyway, for me, I'm joining from my phone.
Yeah, just unmute, bro. Unmute.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay, I get you. All right, no problem. Yeah, let me. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick one on the side. All right, so gold has been bullish, right? Gold has been bullish, giving us those nice higher highs and rallying up as it goes, right? So what we see it breaking these, highs and continue to rally up as it goes up, right? So what we currently will be looking for, we will look for those nice taps into those higher highs. When I see it coming to that higher high, give us some after the correction. After obviously there will definitely be that initial, indication to the upside by breaking the previous high, and then when I see it correct, preferably back into these highs. You understand? So we can have a nice clear entry when it's time to shoot to the upside, right? So we can get a nicely into when it shoots to the upside. So that's basically how we gonna be looking at it in most cases. You understand? Because we are overall bullish in most time frames, especially the 4 hour and the daily. So let me just show you the 4 hour. This are the 4 hour looks. As you can see, gold has been very much bullish going up, has been very much bullish. And I spoke about this low the other time when I said, how we lost that sell trade. Remember the trade when we bought gold last week? I think around Tuesday, Wednesday, when we bought gold around here, then it sold. Yeah, this candlestick when it sold to these levels. So I was like, what is currently happening? But because we are fully bullish, then I realized that it is. I didn't really consider the 1 hour. What is currently happening on the 1 hour? So the 1 hour is where they trapped most of us, especially with the 1 hour. So as you can see, we have the same thing, which is currently happening. Let me just take this. We have the same thing here also, right? We had this 4 hour higher high, and then as you can see, the market started giving us those, lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, equal lows, and then a higher low on a 1 hour. That's when it then broke out, give us that indication, a breakout and a higher high. Same thing, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, equal highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low equal high, and then another lower low. That's where we got trapped around this, and then we lost that trade on gold the other week. You understand? So then we get a lower high, and then it failed to break down and give the lower low indication, because now we still have this low, which is a 4 hour low, a higher low from the higher highs that were created in a 4 hour, right? So it started to push up, and then we realized that okay, anything above this level would be bullish, but then we also have this level that anything above these lows and these lows would be bullish. That's why we got our entry the last time, and then we took our entry to the upside, aiming at this indication where the initial indication came from, right? So I want you to think of the same thing that will happen here. Same thing would happen here, right? So again, we have the same thing happening. We have the same thing happening. We can take this, since well we see that is going down. We can take this as a 4 hour higher high. We got our indication here. We want to see a nice clean, correction with lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs coming into this, and probably even come to that level that I was talking about, 3670, 3670 level, and then we start to maybe see a break on that structure. Probably this would be on a 1 hour or on a M30, but it will be most definitely on a 1 hour where you will get this downtrend on a 1 hour. We want to see a clean break above, and then we break in those lower highs, and then probably maybe a higher low being created. We can maybe start looking for buying opportunities around this level. But if we missed it, we can even take buying opportunities above this level, where, like I said, we can start looking for buys around 3700 price, where price gets to 3700. Then we can move to a smaller time frame, maybe 15 minute or 5 minute, and then get our entries, and then we aim for this level. As long as we don't break any of these higher lows, this would be a higher low. This here is a higher low, you know, on a that would be a higher low on a 4 hour, and also here we have this higher low on a 4 hour. As you get my point, right? So, like I said, there's a tool I want to include, but I'm gonna include. I'm just gonna give you guys the intro in it. So this tool is a higher high, lower low strategy. It just gives you, it marks off those indications. So say, okay, now you see that the chart is actually, we had this higher high, and then started giving us those high, this, higher low, lower high. You get what I'm saying? But it helps you, but you need to understand how it works in terms of aligning it with what is currently happening in the trend, right? So you can move to 1 hour to say, okay, what is currently happening on 1 hour? So it can show you that, okay, on the 1 hour, this was currently happening. So remember, our trade came from these levels. We needed to break this lower high, because now we created a higher low. We needed to break this lower high so that we can get an entry. And that's where mostly our entry came up from the last week to these highs, where we got, the 4 hour higher highs indication, right? So the smaller the time frame, it even, it will always mark the highs and the lows and everything. You can even use the pivot points from size strategy, but it doesn't really mark off anything. It just gives you the price. So if you are, this, because you can't mark every higher high and higher low, so you just need to understand how to use also this indication in terms of giving you those higher highs and higher lows. You understand? So it's best to use it at those bigger time frames, 4 hour and 1 hour, probably even M30 in some instances, probably even M30 in some instances, to mark off, know where your level of, resistance and where you can mark them off. But it will be very complicated because there's a lot that is currently happening, as you can see, so it will get much more confusing. So I highly recommend, if you're starting out, use it on a 4 hour and then or 1 hour, so you can get those higher highs and higher lows and mark off those points, because those will be very, very, very much, important once the market comes and corrects, and then you can start buying off from those levels. And even if the market comes and then the market decides to come and break this low, then we can start looking for, because we then would have a bearish indication, and then we'll look for, wait for it to come and correct, because now we know that anything below this would be bearish, and anything above this would be bullish. Why? Because we had that 4 hour indication also showing us that anything below this level would be bearish. Same here. That's why it sold this side, and anything above this would be bullish because of this indication to the upside. But still, like I said, anything below this would also be bearish. If the chart decides to come, it will be bearish until this level. So we want to see it bounce off this level. Hence, I said the 3,670 level. We want to see it bounce off this level and start shooting up. Then we can start buying above these levels because now, okay. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Possibly from those levels. But I want to see a clear break. So it will be on a 1 hour because as you can see, the 1 hour will be the one that is correcting. So I would want to see it start, giving us those higher highs and higher lows from this level. So I wouldn't be looking for much entries from this level, probably from 3,700 once we have those indicate, that indication on 1 hour, say, breaking those lower highs, which would be part of the correction that would have came down. So I would be looking for those buys to the upside, you know. So that's pretty much how I want to see it happening, So yeah, that's how I would wanna, get into the market on gold. But we just need to wait it out, see what is happening, forget the noise, and then yeah, pretty much. And then probably we can move to Nasdaq. Let's see what Nasdaq has for us. Okay, same thing on Nasdaq. Let's start on a 4 hour. We have these levels on 4 hour also. We have these levels, and if we switched on that indication, it can show you we have a higher high, we have a higher high, we have a higher low, we have a higher high. This was also a higher low, and then we have another break to the upside on a higher with a higher high. And then when you switch to 1 hour, it can then, because I already marked off those levels, as you can see, it gives us those nice higher highs and higher lows. So you can then mark them off, and then after 1 hour, you can then switch off your indicator. For now, um because once you start to go to M30, like I said, it starts now showing too much. It starts showing too much. So you want to tap switch it off once it gets to that point. But for me, I did switch it on, but I was just marking this level to see what price will do from this. So that if it can give maybe an indication to the downside on this M30 to show that okay, it can sell below this level and then maybe retrace back and then start selling. But I want to see it come down to these levels also, because now we know that anything above these higher highs would be bullish, and anything below it will be bearish. So this level will play a very important role in terms of us looking for buys above this price, this higher high that was created. So we can also take highs to the upside, which would be that higher high, and then obviously would then be using a smaller time frame like your M15, M5, and that the M1 also in terms of taking those entries. Is there any questions, guys?
So if you don't mind me asking, this higher high and lower low strategy, is it an indicator? I mean, is it an indicator?
Yeah, it's an indicator on trading view. It's just to help people in terms of marking off their higher highs and higher lows, understanding where those things are, and so that it can sink into your memory. It can be something
Mm,
that you can then spot without even using the indicator. You understand?
Is it free? Hello.
Yeah, it is free. No, I was reading I was reading Amir's text. I think it was made by, let me see. But it's higher high, lower low strategy. It's written higher high, lower low strategy. Let me see who. Higher high, lower low strategy. Is it the one that I'm using? I'll check. I'll check for you guys. I'll check for the thing. I
Yeah, high,
think it,
lower, low strategy, right? Okay.
yeah, higher high, lower low strategy. But I'll check who owns the strategy. Um, yeah, I'll check who owns the strategy. the indicator, actually, just the indicator, but it's not really a strategy per se. You need to tap into your ICC so that it can then be something that can help you mark off those higher highs and higher lows. And like I said, it will be very beneficial using it from a 1 hour point of view and also 4 hour point of view in terms of helping you with your levels. You see, some of them you
Okay.
don't mark them, but it will definitely help you mark off those points.
Mm, mm,
Uh,
mm.
all right.
So
I'm
you
very
never
sorry
do
for
reverse
it.
trading, right?
Huh?
You don't do reverse trading like when it goes up, you know that it went up and you can sell like back to the previous area down. You don't do that. You just go using ICT,
Yeah.
ICC.
The tricky part about the correction, trading the correction, is you don't know how long it will go. We might even think it might go on to do this, maybe this level, like we said, like, okay, we expect it to come to this, a level where the higher high was created and then into this level because before it can push back up where the indication happened so we can start taking buys. You understand? But then
Mm,
you can just not even do that anymore. You can just come, give it low, tap into this demand zone and start shooting back up. You get what I'm saying? Now it's a whole
yeah.
thing again. You understand? Now it takes you out, it kills you, everything. So the best part is to reserve your account balance. Wait for
Mm,
those setups to unfold because it's a few hours. I can tell you, it's already 5 a.m. at where I stay, guys. My battery is gonna die very soon. Oh, my battery is dying. All right. Let me just. We will talk again, guys. We'll talk. Let me just
okay.
save this meeting and save this recording. All right. Have a good day. Eh?
Okay, brother. Thanks very much.
All right. Chop, chop.